You're fired! And Fog Wrestling's fired! Up for Raw, 13th of January 2003. The big man is here. He is my prediction for Superstar of the Year. It's Finny Mac. Oh, hell yeah. Things are about to pick up. He gives Eric Bischoff 30 days, damn it. And McMahon appears. It gets better, doesn't it?
It does get better. Fog Wrestling back with the old ruthless aggression era reviews. It's been a while since we did these, and it's been a while since we've seen McMahon in this era. He's been gone for months, but he's back now, and he wasn't alone. He brought his seaman son with him, Shane O'Mac, and could Shane be the new GM of Raw in about 30 days' time if Eric Bischoff doesn't buck up his ideas? Possibly. McMahon, though, I think he was being harsh here. He says that Bischoff's done a good job, but he didn't hire Bischoff to do a good job. He hired him to do a great job. Well, I would say Bischoff has done a great job. Are we going to get the same thing on SmackDown? Is Stephanie McMahon's job going to come under threat? Or does she get a bit more leeway because her second name is McMahon? Well, I guess we'll find that out on Thursday night. But let's kick off the beginning of this show. Triple threat women's hardcore title match.
Let me hold you up there, buddy. We had Eric Bischoff and Sean Morley in the parking lot with Earl Hebner and Scott Steiner. So it was not a triple threat match that kicked off this show. He's waiting on Vince McMahon, damn it. He wants the Raw superstars to be on their best behaviour tonight. Hebner walks up. Guys, me and the boys are going on a strike.
You know what, Earl Hebner, you've already had your 15 minutes of fame. We've already seen the referee strike. We're not interested, right? This was just a little obstacle. What did it lead to? It led to absolutely nothing. Now, maybe it's going to lead to something next week, but this was just to try and get under Bischoff's skin.
Yeah, well, but what did Morley tell these guys? He walked behind this, production truck.
Probably gave them like $20 each. Went, right, guys, we'll deal with the problem next week. This week, let's just keep it under wraps, because the real boss is coming. But let's kick off with the first match of the night then. Triple threat, hardcore women's match for the championship, and it was a hard watch indeed. The women just are not good at multi-person matches, and this showed. We see it all the time, that they struggle in triple threat matches or fatal four-way matches, and it wasn't any better with the hardcore rules in here. The weapons, I mean, they tried, but everything was just sloppy. It's like all the good stuff was probably, I mean, the best looking move was when Stevie Richards came in and hit the DDT. That was the best thing by far.
The crowd was dead. It was flatter than Shayna Baszler's chest. It was done. There was nothing happening. Every second move.
Hold on here, right? I like to watch this era and not have to think about Shayna Baszler, so take that back.
I'll take it back then, alright?
I mean, there must be someone with a flat chest in this era that you can reference.
None that come to mind. But anyway, right, the match wasn't very good. Stevie Richards goes to hit Trish with the trash can at the end, misses by about 10 yards.
Pre-2000, Stephanie McMahon, there you go.
There you go. But Stevie Richards, he misses with the trash can. Trish sells it. I mean, she did get caught up in the ropes, but everything was shit.
Like, I mean, if... I guess if you just watched it once, it's like, oh, that looked like a nasty landing kind of thing. But if you're like us and you rewind it because you couldn't believe what you've just seen, then yeah, it kind of does totally miss. But I mean, it looked like a bad landing. I mean, I guess it kind of looked like she got some of the trash cans, some of the ropes, but when you look back, I mean, it was just all of the ropes and none of the trash can. But yeah, whatever. Victoria wins. Poor match. Stevie Richards then beats up Trish at the end. Looks like they're going for some sort of tag team maneuver, but the hurricane comes down. There's a hurricane coming through, and he gets in the ring and saves Trish because that's his gimmick. He saves people.
He saves people, but yeah, I mean, he's waiting on The Rock for some decent segments. It's pretty much the Hurricane at this stage of the game.
Pretty much. He's hibernating, waiting on Big Dwayne Johnson.
Talking of hibernating, the Dudleys come out of it because they come up and confront Bischoff and Morley. You know what I loved about this segment, right? They got in their face and Morley goes, well, what are you two going to do about it? And then they actually battered them. See, if this was today, they wouldn't do fuck all to the authority figures. Wouldn't they not?
No, yeah, I mean, you actually get actions here, you know, like, it's not just all fake words or people poistering up, you know, it's like posturing up even.
You got a big brawl.
Yeah, we actually got a brawl between Chief Morley and the Dudleys. Like nowadays, it would just be just fake ass shit where they just stand and stare each other down.
Yeah, I thought it was really well done.
See if you're coming in see if you're coming in with that sort of aggression, and then you don't get the answer you're looking for. It has to lead to like a fight, or else you're full of fucking shit.
Yeah, and considering it was an 8-on-2 beatdown last week, they had to be pissed off.
Yeah, when you're coming in hot like that, if the answers you're looking for or whatever you want doesn't get resolved, then it's going to lead to a brawl, and that's what happened here. So security broke it up. Looks like Chief Morley took a beating, but don't worry, Eric Bischoff gave him the night off.
He did give him a night off, but the funny thing is, he actually fired them, and Bob was like, "All right, we could use a good tag team on SmackDown," says Stephanie. He's like, "Fuck it, you're not fired. Just suspend it without pay." I like that. They're actually referencing the fact that, oh shit, actually these guys are good, but they're pissing me off, sort of thing.
Yeah, again, just really good writing here. Really good
smart
idea.
writing.
You know, to have Bischoff fire them, and then it's like, fuck, actually, you're right. Me firing them could actually play into the hands of my competitor, my rival on SmackDown. So therefore, I won't fire the Dudleys. I'll suspend them without pay, and that is stopping Stephanie from getting the Dudleys. It's keeping the Dudleys off Raw. And it's preventing the Dudleys from getting paid. So it's like Eric Bischoff, you know, he's just played a blinder here.
He's played a blinder, but talking of not so blindness, we've got Maven and Tess taking on Nowinski and D'Lo Brown. D'Lo Brown has got the match won, but the referee refuses to count because guess what? He kicked out, brother, but he blames racism. You're racist.
Yeah, I don't quite get it. I mean, the guy who's trying to pin is also black.
Yeah, he was pinning Maven, so... I mean,
it's not like he was beating
D'Lo's a wee bit more brown.
I mean, it's not like he was beating a white boy, is it?
No, which they would have made more. But then they're not going to have D'Lo Brown on the verge of beating Test, are they? Even if he did beat him up last week.
He not beat him, no.
I don't think he beat him. No.
Anyway, it doesn't matter because then he grabs Stacey Keibler, but he eats a big boot, and then that's it. Test and Maven celebrate with Stacey Keibler after the match. At this point, we are 2 matches in. And it's been a wee bit sloppy in the ring, but we'll forgive it.
We'll forgive it because Mean Gene Okerlund arrives in a limo. Bischoff thought it was Mcmahon. Bischoff's like, "What the hell is going on here?" Gene's like, "It's the anniversary show." Bischoff says, "No, it's tomorrow night. You're stupid." Gene then says, "Maybe if you weren't so stupid, Bischoff, it would be Nitro's anniversary." Then he just like sulks back in the limo and it reverses off like he shot himself.
Yep, and then Bischoff says, "Well, maybe if I didn't hire washed up people like you, Nitro would still be around." So.
Imagine trying to blame Gene on that. Gene on Nitro.
No, he wasn't blaming. But
I know he wasn't. But if you actually think of it, well, I get it. What? But then, whose fault is it?
That's what. Well, Bischoff's taking responsibility. He's like, you know what? Maybe if I didn't hire washed up people like you, then. But that's Bischoff's mistake, isn't it?
I think there was a place for Mean Gene after WCW. You never really seen him again, apart from these events.
But I like this. Mean Gene got a shot in. Bischoff got a shot in. Nice wee WCW references, and I mean, I don't think Bischoff's wrong. I don't think Mean Gene's wrong. We could have easily been celebrating 10 years of WCW. So, in a few years' time.
Exactly, but it's not quite that. Jericho then turns up. He says he's got a big problem. "I want to enter the Rumble, and I want to enter at number 1. Bischoff says, "No, we need a Raw superstar to win. We're against the odds already with Michaels. Come on."
And again, this just makes total sense.
Yeah, today this just doesn't happen. There's nothing long term. There's nothing cooking about this. It's just fucking good writing. That's what it is.
Yeah. So I mean, Bischoff then says, "Right, okay, you can have a match tonight, and the winner, if you win, then maybe I'll consider it. You know, impress me, kind of thing." So Jericho walks off sulking because. I mean, I guess he wanted to be number 1, but Bischoff wants Raw to win the Rumble, and if he makes Jericho one of his top guys, number 1 pick, then that's going to fuck up Bischoff. So again, everything's just making sense here, and you genuinely feel like there is a rivalry between Raw and SmackDown, not this fake-ass shit that you get in 2024. Whenever you see Nick Aldis and, what's his name?
Adam Pearce, baby.
Adam Pearce together. It's all smiles. It's all fucking fake suits. Just phony. You know, stand beside each other. Goofy impressions. Or I'll take the mic and I'll talk and then I'll pass the mic to you and you talk. It wasn't like back then when the GMs were like talking over each other and fighting for every scrap, fighting for every name they could get. People think that Adam Pearce and people that think that Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis are the two BS. You're smoking fucking crack.
No, you are smoking fucking crack. It's horrendous. Teddy Long and John Laurinaitis shit all over those two.
Easily?
Like easy fucking peasy lemon
There's no
squeezy.
rivalry between Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce.
It's funny how we said that Laurinaitis shits all over him. Big Johnny! Well, he got shit on, to be fair. Maybe he did do some shitting on.
Better to shit than get shit on.
We then cut to the FU. Thankfully, there was no shitting on, apart from the King's Book.
Wait, that kind of works both ways. It's better to get shit on than to shit on.
It's better to shit on than be shat on.
No.
Doesn't really work that.
Doesn't work that way, right? Moving on.
FU, Regal basically buries Jerry the King Lawler's book. It's like, proper planning prevents piss poor performance. I agree with it, Lance. Oh, bloody imbecile.
We then get Jerry the King Lawler taking on Regal.
What is it with the fucking matches tonight? This did nothing. I mean, they took about 10 minutes to check
for
a
5-second match.
Yeah, like, to check the knuckles and, like...
Regal...
Maybe Lance Storm fucking liked this, I don't know.
Regal reads a passage for Jerry Lawler's book where he's basically talking about women and ex-wives and all this shit.
He's like, yeah, maybe the king, but in the bedroom I'm the court jester. I can't imagine. Why would King even fucking write that?
Did he write that, or did Regal make it up?
Yeah, but King didn't deny it. He kind of like sulked down. He put his fucking head down when Regal said that. I don't know, but yeah, the match was... Well, what is there about the match? He gets DQ'd.
What was that comment King made about Sonny?
When?
Something about liking them young and picking them up at school or something?
Taking it wasn't during this show?
No, it wasn't during this show.
I can't remember then.
That was a belter comment. Need to find out what that was.
Anyway, sticking with shit matches, we have got Jeff Hardy against Raven. To be fair, the match actually wasn't that bad. Raven, again, probably disappeared around the same time McMahon disappeared. Last ever match in WWE. What would you rate Raven's WWE career out of 10? You know what's funny? See the first year? I would probably give it like a 7. I would. I think Raven's first year in WWE is really good. Feuding for the hardcore title up to Maniac 7. Plays a decent role in the Invasion with some good comedy.
Yeah, it's a 5 at best, isn't it, really?
Yeah, but since then, it's like... What's been happening?
You know what?
Ever since Austin broke his legs, he came out in a bin bag.
I mean, as much as I do love WWE, WWF, McMahon, I think they could have done a much better job with a lot of the ECW guys and even WCW guys. You got to wonder, is it like an ego thing with McMahon? And he's like maybe not wanting...
Is it an ego thing?
No, maybe not an ego thing, but maybe it's like a, you tried to take me down. You were my rival. So like, fuck you guys. I'm going to hold most of you back. Because I mean, surely more could have been done.
I'm going to disagree, right? You know why? Because...
So you don't think Tommy Dreamer and Raven could have played bigger parts?
All right, no, but I'm going to go for the more general picture, all right? We've seen people like who's come in for WCW, like Jericho, Booker T, etc., and they've been given great runs throughout their career. I think it's more when you look at ECW, it's like if you were to name the people who's like most trustworthy and reliable in that company, you would go with RVD and the Dudleys. And is it any coincidence they're the like 3 that have been pushed?
Absolutely not. I think you'd go with Tommy Dreamer.
Tommy Dreamer.
What reliable as in putting on a good match, or reliable as in I'm not going to get stoned and drugged at my head?
Well, brother, come on. Well, actually, why'd Van Damme do that? No, but Van Damme...
Here's the WWE Championship. I ain't baller. I'll just get pulled over by cops.
Tommy Dreamer and the Sandman and all that, they dropped each other off dead at hospitals, for fuck's sake. I think McMahon wants that.
I think Tommy Dreamer was just a designated driver. Like, I think Tommy Dreamer was pretty sensible compared to everyone else.
But I think Tommy Dreamer's actually had a decent career in WWE.
A decent? He's been a bomb.
He's been better than Raven.
I think you could argue Raven's had better moments. Like,
well, I mean, like
I think peak Raven's probably better than peak Dreamer.
Anyway, there is no peak Raven. It's over. It's TNA from now on.
Did Dreamer get a match at WrestleMania?
2007 he did. Down. That
doesn't count. Throwaway fucking tag team match.
Look, it was a decent enough match.
I know, but Raven actually had a hardcore title match. You know what I mean? He was champion in that.
Right, anyway, Jeff Hardy advances as if it was ever in any doubt here. Raven, new
Jeff
haircut.
Hardy just looked drugged to his tits, went for the Swanton, Whisper in the Wind, couldn't even climb the top rope and he fell.
It's a match that will happen in TNA in about 6 months.
I reckon Raven should have just done to Jeff Hardy here what Sting done to him at Victory Road.
And entered the Rumble.
Aye, why not?
Well, he could have done that, but he didn't do that.
Also, they did mention that Raven had been like kind of stuck in heat for the past 6 months.
Nah, King mentioned that.
So it's like, I don't really understand. It's like, why is he being promoted back to Raw? Is it just for somebody to beat Jeff Hardy? Or somebody for Jeff Hardy to beat, maybe? Who knows? Jeff Hardy, though, qualifies for the Rumble, and he appears to be the last Raw man in this thing. Yeah,
he is literally the last Raw guy in it. But we do have McMahon finally arriving to the arena. He gets out of his limousine. Bischoff's greeting him. He's brown-nosing him, essentially. Then he turns to Randy Orton, does McMahon. He's like, how's the shoulder, kid? 94%. McMahon then starts slapping the shit out of his shoulder.
That's what I like to see.
That's what I like to hear.
And then he takes off his like 50 grand jacket and just throws it away as he's making his way down to the ring. Just leaves his jacket backstage as if it means absolutely nothing.
Now, what did we make of the McMahon segment? I thought it was kind of all over the place here. I don't think McMahon's parts were bad, but I don't know.
I mean, it was alright. Like, first you get the Dudleys coming out, and for some reason, like, McMahon almost acted like... I mean, he treated the Dudleys like they were faces, didn't he? He was, like, almost nice to them.
Yeah.
So Dudley's come out complaining about being suspended.
But it suits the storyline, though, because the reason why he's saying Bischoff's just been good is because he's treating good talent like the Dudleys like shit, potentially.
So McMahon reinstates them and gives them a title shot. Not quite sure why, but they get the title shot, they're reinstated. McMahon then tries to speak. Jericho comes down and says, look, I want to be number one. McMahon says, right, whoever wins this fatal four-way match tonight gets to pick their number. Tells Jericho to shut the hell up. And
you can't pick number one, though, because the Heartbreak Kid's number one. Damn it.
Aye, so McMahon reveals that, and Jericho's heart sinks, but there's always number two. And then McMahon finally tries to get out what he wants to say, and Bischoff comes down. Bischoff can't really understand why McMahon's here, and McMahon at this point is pissed off. He has flipped his lid.
Yeah, he has flipped his lid. He wanted to come out, I just want to make an announcement about the anniversary show, but then he says maybe it's time for a public employee evaluation. He says, you're doing a good job, just not a great job. Now, we touched upon this at the start of the review. Obviously, Bischoff's doing a great job, right?
Doing a better job than Ric Flair.
No, he is, but...
Doing a better job than Stephanie.
But where would the storyline be if McMahon just came out here and was like, you're doing a great job, Eric, then? No chance! And just walked off. But no, he gives him 30 days to turn it around, or else you'll be fired. We then come back from the commercial. Bischoff's pleading for more time. He needs more than a month. But then...
But do you think that means over the next 4 weeks then we're going to get great Raws?
Chaos? I don't know.
Because if the next 4 weeks don't really pick up, then it just
Well,
seems...
I know for a fact Bischoff gets Austin back, so... I mean, is that not picking up?
Well,
and The Rock comes back as well.
You can't ask for much more than that.
You get The Rock and Austin coming back.
Your job's safe, Bischoff.
Yeah, but anyway, Shane steps out the limo. I believe it's the first time we have seen Shane since the night after Survivor Series.
Aye, Alliance, right.
So there you go. I mean, it's a long time since we've seen Shane O'Mac, about, 14 months?
Because Bischoff's like, who the heck can you replace me with? It's this guy.
Shane McMahon. Anyway, with Booker T taking on Lance Storm. Lance Storm wins via disqualifications because the Dudley give him a 3D. Again, just another match that... just a bit dead, and the matches tonight weren't very good.
No, the matches kind of sucked.
We then had Hurricane against Stevie Richards. I mean, Hurricane eventually wins, but... I mean, I thought this part with the women brawling was alright. It just shows you with the triple threat format, I don't know what it is. 20 odd years later, it still doesn't work.
Doesn't work for me, brother.
But what doesn't work for me is these challenges that Triple H and Scott Steiner are going through here. I like Scott Steiner. I like Triple H is a bit boring though. He gets in there, I'm the game. I told Austin. I told Taker. I told The Rock. I told this guy, that guy. Like, come on, for fuck's sake, Triple H.
But no what annoys me, it's Bret Hart saying he's a 4 out of 10. See if he wanted to turn around and see Triple H, he's like a 6, 7 out of 10.
Nothing more.
I'd accept that.
I'd accept it too.
Because I think the guy, at times, I mean, he's not bad. 4 out of 10's a bad score. And Triple H isn't bad, but yeah, I mean, you can certainly say that when he's not in the ring with someone great, then maybe he's not, this amazing wrestler, or when he's not cutting promos with someone who's equally is fucking brilliant, then maybe his promos aren't the best. So I can understand the Triple H criticism, but I've never got the 4 out of 10 thing. I mean, he's better than a 4 out of 10, isn't he?
4 out of 10's reserved for like a Rodney Mack.
Rodney Mack wishes they could get 4 out of 10. Anyway, so
there's no one in wrestling history who's made it to a level of like a Triple H being a 4 out of 10.
No, Triple H, Steiner then basically tells the people that behind the weights, put on 525 for starters, and King's free for starters. So we think we're going to get Scott Steiner lifting these weights, but we don't even get one weight lifted, to be honest. Triple H just gets straight to the ring, basically calls out Scott Steiner, says that he could outlift Scott Steiner any day of the week, really. Doesn't matter what Steiner could lift, Triple H can lift more. Does he plan on lifting the weights with his nose? I'm not entirely sure. But then Steiner comes down, him and Triple H start brawling. Looks like Triple H is getting the better of it when it comes to the striking. But then Scott Steiner just goes into like steroid mode and starts tossing Triple H around, belly-to-belly suplexes, throwing him out of his boots.
Out of his fall.
And then literally we just get Triple H getting stripped down like it was some sort of Bran panties match or whatever. And this is what I don't get. See, back in the day, right? They did this. They did do this to wrestlers at times, like having Scott Steiner just like, manhandle Triple H, and the commentaries putting over how embarrassing this must be for Triple H. But it's like this woke generation today, it's like they've got this false narrative that things like this only happened to women back in the day.
Yeah, it happened to men loads of times. Look at times it happened to McMahon.
Yeah, so I mean, I honestly don't get it, to be honest. I mean, men did get stripped down as well. I mean,
fucking amount of times Rikishi shoved his ass in men's faces. That's embarrassing.
Like I mean, I would bet Triple H doesn't wear this kind of underwear.
Yeah.
And it's literally just for him to be embarrassed.
Triple H, right, does not want to go out and do this, but he does it for the best.
I'm pretty sure Jericho's been caught in underwear like this as well.
Christian and Jericho a couple weeks ago.
But I'm sure these guys don't actually wear these like fucking thong Y fronts. You know what I mean? That's just to
embarrass the fucking story.
That's just to embarrass. Oh, look what Scott Steiner's done. He stripped Triple H. But people make it. Oh, it only happened to the women, and it's bullshit. Fucking bullshit. I mean, you could actually argue that it was only. I mean, it wasn't very often that like women actually got stripped down. I don't think. I mean, it was more or less voluntarily. But with the men, sometimes this happened quite a lot. And I don't know why Scott Steiner, wanted to strip Triple H.
It was funny though. He's picking him up by his fucking thong, pretty much, and bouncing him off.
A little bit gay, if you ask me. But so. It wasn't just women that got clothes stripped. I got
freaks 9 days out of the week.
It wasn't just women that got their clothes stripped back in the day. It happened to men as well, so yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was an alright segment to, go into the pay-per-view with, I guess, but it's just same old. And I'm really interested to see what the build-up's going to be like to No Way Out, because I feel like they've did everything. Yeah,
Scott Steiner lifted no weights, but he sure as hell lifted Triple H, so.
Absolutely, but to lift Triple H, you got to throw him over the top rope, because it's Royal Rumble time, baby. It's challenge time. Kane, Van Damme, Jericho, Batista. This is a main event, isn't it? This is a main event I can get behind.
Yeah.
Over the top rope challenge. I mean, this is 4 guys. Not exactly the peak of their powers, all of them, but I mean, Batista's rising, RVD, Jericho, Kane, definitely upper mid. I mean, this is how strong wrestling used to be, folks. These 4, and like none of them are really
in a throwaway main event. Like,
yeah,
it's not even like this is a main event that's been hyped for the ages.
No, Batista and Kane eliminate each other. Batista then throws RVD off the top rope. Jericho then flips RVD out the ring. He wins the match. He says, well, if Michaels is number uno, I'm going to be numero dos. But then Michaels comes out. We get a brawl. Michaels does get the upper hand here, brother.
Yeah, a bit strange that Michaels was just backstage the entire night and only came out to do this little super kick, or that he throws like... So Jericho throws him over. Michaels holds on, skims the cat, then tosses Jericho over that thing, heads up the ramp to go to the back, and that was it. It's like a bit of a fucking weird ending here.
It was a weird ending. I mean, it wasn't the best Raw. We did have a Sean O'Hare womanizer gimmick, which was weird. Nathan Jones, I like me, but you might not promo. A lot of weird jobbers here getting promo time on Raw, but
I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I mean, it was an okay Raw. Matches weren't the greatest, but I mean, segments were all right. I mean, quality-wise wasn't great, but it was eventful. And for me, that's...
I've seen worse Rumble build-ups. Definitely.
Well, I do think when you factor in it was a Rumble go-home show, it's a pretty poor show, but I'll give it a 6 out of 10 because it was eventful and shit happened.
Yeah, I'll give it a 6 out of 10 as well. I think that's a fair rating.
Like, it might not have produced lots of quality, but you can't say you were bored watching this.
No. Absolutely not, guys. So
matches weren't overly long, segments weren't overly long. You were getting the surprise of McMahon, a surprise of like Raven returning. Like it's not often we get women in hardcore matches. First ever triple threat women's hardcore match. You were getting stuff, you know. It's like, I mean, you can't say that this was boring or whatnot because a lot of the stuff that we got in this show was new. Like again, McMahon coming up, Bischoff, the backstage segments with him waiting on the arrival. Nice wee surprise of Mean Gene. A mini Royal Rumble, so to speak, in the main event as well. The Triple H Steiner, you know, these two guys finally getting physical. So, I mean, yeah, quality-wise it wasn't great, but he did get a lot of things happening and it built and led to the Rumble. So, yeah, decent show, good show, but not great.
Could it be hard to decipher 5 moments, though, for it? You'll have to find out tomorrow, won't you? Till next time.